All right, ma'am. Are you Devin Atkins? And Ms. Atkins is on probation for the third-degree felony offense of injury to an elderly person. That's started at May 23rd of 2022. There was a motion to adjudicate probation filed. She entered pleas of true to counts 4 and 5. Does the state have testimony with regard to counts 1, 2, and 3?
Yes, the court would like.
Yep.
Okay, hold on to your seats because we are about to enter a courtroom play in which there are no restrictions on repercussions and excuses are allowed to flow freely. Devin Atkins, a woman who has been convicted of a third crime, appears in before of the judge today. She has broken probation once more, and worse, she is still avoiding accountability. Will someone speak up, or are we going to see the best not my fault performance of the century?
Young man Cole, Ms. Shakita Cole.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Ms. Cole. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Ms. Cole, would you please state your full name for the record?
Shakita Cole.
How are you employed?
I'm employed at Jackson County Adult Probation.
And as a adult probation officer, is it your responsibility to supervise an individual on this probation by the name of Devin Atkins?
Yes.
Do you see Ms. Atkins in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
Can you point to an identifier?
Right here in the blue jersey.
Your man, the record reflect Ms. Cole has identified your probationer, Devin Atkins.
Record will so reflect.
And Ms. Cole, as with every probationer, when they are placed on the court's probation, are they given the rules and restrictions placed upon them and what they are supposed to do following the court orders?
Yes.
And each one of those in detail is gone over with them so that they understand everything that they're required to do.
Yes.
Was Ms. Atkins so advised?
Yes.
At her intake?
She was advised at her intake and at a TTM at the Melton Center in Kirkland.
Okay, and describe for the court what a TTM is.
A treatment team.
Okay, so in your opinion, Ms. Cole, as her probation officer, was Ms. Atkins fully apprised and aware of what she was required to do on probation?
Yes.
And were in fact the majority of those things intended to help her?
Yes.
Was she advised that she was to report to the Community Supervision Department when directed by yourself in the court?
Yes.
And did Ms. Atkins, based on your review of the file, fail to do that on multiple dates, including but most likely not limited to November 4th of 2024, November 19th of 2024?
The interesting part is that Miss Atkins, who is already on probation for hurting an elderly person, can't seem to follow even the most basic instructions. She was told very clearly that she needed to report, show up for appointments, and complete community service hours. But guess what? She didn't do any of that, not once, not twice, but several times. According to Miss Cole, the probation officer, she thoroughly explained everything to Atkins, but here she is, evading responsibility once more. The only thing that is true about her plea is that she can't seem to do anything correctly.
At this
point, the only thing that is true about her plea is that she can't seem to do anything right.
Her mental health, she refuses to address that. We've made appointments for her with Spinal Tap and she didn't attend the appointments. She's 100% when she was out unmedicated. So that kind of interfered with her completing her services. And she maintained contact with the victim in the case. So that part, her grandmother was trying to be there for her because of the mental health difficulties.
Let's now discuss Atkins' persistent use of the mental health card, as reported by Miss Cole. What does Miss Atkins say in court? I'm not a psychopath, Devin. No one is calling you a psychopath, but refusing to get help for your problems is a choice, and your choice is costing you at this point. It's not about your mental health. It's about your unwillingness to face the consequences of your actions. Miss Atkins has been given numerous opportunities for mental health services, evaluations, appointments, you name it, but she skips them, doesn't show up, refuses to accept any responsibility for her mental state, even when it is blatantly obvious.
The main thing that we were trying to get her to address.
Okay.
can I address anything?
In a minute. Mr. Lewis, do you have any questions? Hold on, ma'am. You're going to get an opportunity, okay? Mr. Lewis, do you have any questions of Ms. Cole?
Just briefly, during your supervision of Ms. Atkins, was you able to supervise her at points when she was on her medication and not on her medication?
The entire time she has not been on her medication.
So she's been on medication this entire time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cole. Any other witnesses with regard to the allegations? Based on the testimony,
Unless I may ask, Ms. Cole, Judge,
Yeah.
and you stated that earlier, Miss Evelyn Thibodeau, I believe that is her grandmother, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
hold on, ma'am.
At some point in time in November of 2024, was Miss Atkins violating the condition the court had imposed that she not to have contact with Miss Thibodeau for?
Let's examine the emotional devastation in greater detail. This is what we call manipulation, folks, and it's not just callous, it's dangerous. The system is going above and beyond to help her, and all she's doing is wriggling and making excuses, while her grandmother is trying to help her only to be ignored and hurt in the process. Miss Atkins continues to communicate with the victim, her own grandmother, despite being expressly ordered to stop doing so. She claims that she was just trying to be there for me.
View that report.
Yes, ma'am, Judge.
Any additions or corrections to that report?
No, from the bench, Judge.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor, unless Ms. Cole has something to add.
Do you have anything to add that's not already in your report? So the main thing I want to make sure, Ms. Cole, I have a notation here to ask is, you guys were aware of mental health issues and had opportunities for Ms. Atkins to participate in mental health services. Is that correct?
I made the appointments myself.
Okay. All right. Argument, Mr. Lewis?
Well, Judge, I think definitely from the updated PSI we have, as well as I think there was some issues from the jail. If you look at those issues and activity, I think they go directly to her mental health state. Unfortunately, she has not been on a mental health caseload. I think that definitely would benefit her, as well as, being able to take advantage of any services that phenotype MHMR may have, or any program that probation deemed appropriate for her. I have had conversations with her, and meaningful conversations with her, where she has addressed to me her desire to take advantage of those activities if those available to me. She did understand that she had the safety opportunity that didn't go well, but I don't think the mental health issues were addressed, mainly just substance abuse at that point. I think.
Okay, at this point, the courtroom drama really gets going. Devin Atkins keeps shouting over everyone and disrupting the judge. So the judge had to tell her, keep talking, and you're adding years to your sentence. Atkins is obviously living in denial, and her attitude is going to cost her dearly. Classic is like a real-life example of how not to handle a legal matter. Imagine believing you can simply keep interrupting and still expect pity.
Any recommendation as far as,
I have one thing to say.
okay?
She is not giving me the information needed to follow up with those type of things.
Okay, well, I don't believe
Doesn't have
you.
them.
I don't believe you.
You know,
Ms. Cole would never say go do something and not tell you where to go or help you get there.
No, she said she does not have a list of the community service.
I'm not worried about your community service. I'm worried about your mental health and the fact that you're not doing what you need to, and you're still contacting the victim, and it's a serious case. And so I got to protect society, unfortunately, because
This situation is a perfect illustration of how a refusal to accept responsibility may get out of hand. The lesson here is that the system can only do so much if you're not willing to meet halfway. If you're not willing to do so, there's only one place you're headed: consequences. Miss Atkins had every chance to change things, including a second chance in mental health services guidance, but she chose to ignore everything, make excuses, keep hurting those around her. The truth is that she had all the tools she needed to succeed, but she chose not to use them.
I'm about to sentence you to prison, and how you keep talking over me is about to start adding years onto that. Stop talking. It's just going to get worse. Do you understand? Okay. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, I'm finding you guilty of injury to an elderly individual. Sentence you to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. No.
I'm telling it, like she thought, like I could not get up there.
I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows
I would like to speak to a detective.
this was not an agreement, and so you waived your right to appeal. I need you to sign that with
I gave
her.
her hospital papers. I gave her everything.
I'm also
I had
handed
a
you.
doctor's appointment and everything. That's what I'm
I've got
telling you.
5 more years that I could add on to that.
Oh, Yeah.
I can give you up to 10.
Yeah.
You need to stop talking so I can finish what I need to do, okay?
I'm telling you, I'm not guilty. That's what I'm telling you. I did not have a choice. I have doctor. I have went to the hospital and everything.
I'm handing you a
3
written
times.
admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered
I
against,
don't have a gun.
I'm not, just listen to what I'm saying. If you'll listen for a minute, you'll understand. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition.
I don't have a gun, man.
Good, then you
You're talking
don't-
to the wrong person. I'm Devin Atkins. I don't have a gun.
I'm required
No,
to
I'm
read that
telling
to
you, I
everyone.
don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
The harsh reality is that you are just setting yourself up for failure if you continue to play the victim, make excuses, and avoid taking responsibility. Miss Atkins had opportunities and assistance, but her own decisions led her to where she is now. When is enough enough? And when do we stop offering justifications for those who refuse to change? For those who are considering doing the same, keep in mind that you are the only one responsible for your failures, so don't be shocked. When the system gives up on you,